Why dogs ignore you. And it has nothing to do with stubbornness. Let me say something that might sting a little. Your dog isn't ignoring you. They're not stubborn, they're not dominant, and they're definitely not trying to disrespect you. They're following the pattern you taught them. Dogs don't argue with patterns, they follow them. And once you understand that, dog training gets way easier and way less frustrating. Most people think their dog ignores commands because the dog is being difficult. But dogs don't think like that. Dogs are pattern recognition machines. They don't listen to what you say. They watch what happens next. So if you say sit 10 times and only enforce it 3 times, your dog didn't hear 10 commands. They heard 3 real ones and 7 suggestions. From the dog's point of view, you're not giving instructions. You're polling the room. Here's the truth most people miss. Dogs don't argue with patterns, they follow them. If every time your dog jumps on you, sometimes you correct it, sometimes you laugh, sometimes you ignore it, your dog isn't confused. They've learned a very clear pattern. Jumping is a slot machine. Sometimes it pays, sometimes it doesn't. But intermittent rewards are the strongest behavior builders on the planet. That's not a dog problem, that's a consistency problem. And I say that with love. Think about how humans tune things out. You ever been to karaoke night and someone gets up and sings a 6-minute song nobody knows? They miss the key in the first verse. The tempo's off, and by minute 2, half the room is suddenly very interested in their phone. That's what inconsistent commands sound like to a dog. Sit sounds like maybe, come sounds like only if nothing better is happening. Stay sounds like stay-ish. Eventually, your voice just becomes background music at a bad bar, and your dog learns something important. I'll listen when it matters to me. This is where people get uncomfortable. To make a command stick, you have to stick to it until your dog complies. That doesn't mean yelling. It doesn't mean being angry. It doesn't mean being harsh. It means the command actually means something. Because here's the real rule. It's better to not give a command at all than to give one and not reinforce it. Every unenforced command teaches your dog that words are optional, and dogs are not moral creatures, they're logical ones. If sit sometimes matters and sometimes doesn't, the dog's brain says, I'll decide when it applies. Congratulations, you just hired your dog as middle management. Consistency isn't about being strict, it's about being fair. Imagine if your boss only enforced rules when they were in a bad mood. One day you're late and it's fine. Next day you're late and it's World War III. That doesn't create respect, it creates anxiety. Dogs are the same way. Predictability creates calm. Calm creates trust. Trust creates obedience. When your dog knows exactly what happens every time, they relax. No guessing, no negotiating, no testing, just clarity. So if your dog is ignoring you, don't ask, how do I get my dog to listen? Ask this instead. What pattern have I been reinforcing? Because dogs don't argue with patterns, they follow them. And once you become predictable, calm, and consistent, your dog stops questioning you, stops negotiating, and starts following. Not because you're louder, not because you're scarier, but because you finally make sense. If this helped you, share it with someone whose dog suddenly has selective hearing.